So you got that oven occupied. The slow cooker is a fabulous way to make your desserts. I am going to make a slow cooker cobbler, and I'm using black cherries. I love using cherries in cobblers because they're so meaty and juicy. So I have some black cherries that I've thawed. I've reserved the juice from the cherries because I want to make a nice syrupy sauce with that. And that's a half a cup of granulated sugar, a quarter cup of cornstarch, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm gonna give it a whisk, then add 3/4 cup of the reserved cherry juice. I decided to make a cobbler because what's more southern than a cobbler? And I thought it would be better to use the slow cooker so I can focus on everything else that I need to make. So you got that oven occupied. The slow cooker is a fabulous way to make your desserts. And as this gets nice and hot, it's gonna turn into this beautiful cherry syrup. And I'll pour this back into the slow cooker with those thawed cherries. Mix that around. All right, gotta make my topping. And I decided to kind of lighten it up a bit. I'm using some reduced fat milk and a little less sugar than I normally use, but still great nonetheless. So for my dry ingredients, I'm using 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. It's gonna be fluffy and airy. Half a cup of granulated sugar, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Give it a whisk. All right, so I've mixed my dry. Now for my wet, 1 egg. And now I'm adding 2/3 cup of reduced fat milk. I have some melted butter. That's about 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter and a little vanilla extract. Give it a whisk. Break up that egg yolk. And now I'm going to add my wet to my dry to make my batter. Alrighty, so I'm gonna add my batter to the top of this. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this and cook it for about 2.5 to 3 hours on low. And when it comes out and it's nice and warm, I am gonna serve this with a scoop of ice cream.